Sometimes you wanna, sometimes you wanna, sometimes you wanna hide.
Never got the retracement back for 30. It's all good. Played out to the T. All right, we had missed those long ideas. Let's see if we can take these short ideas off this 1 hour gap and this 4 hour gap. All right, so this 1 hour gap is over here. Bow. And it's overlapping with a 30-minute gap. So hope we feel this and get like a 10 a.m. reversal. Really my time, 7 a.m. reversal, right? But this is the trade idea. We did want those longs, but let's see if we get that retracement for that 7 o'clock reversal in order to fill in this gap. Gap was not it. All good. Oh yeah, 30 came back down, looking a little gravy. GP1. What do you mean percentage of how much I'm risking? And me switching to futures to Forex, I realized that futures is more cleaner. A lot of people, it is more money in Forex because it is different, pairs battling with each other, the primary, the secondary, etc., stuff like that, right? For a move to happen during Forex, right? Because it can move Tokyo, it can move London. I may miss my move. I'm like, damn, I got to stay up for London session just for this one move, and then it don't even play out in my favor. So that's why I kind of switched to futures, and I kind of just stick with my Dow Jones, which is a US 30. When I know that it's just a capital issue, because if you add an extra zero on that, that could be 750, 7,000, 70,000. All right, it's just a capital issue that me and you as retail traders just have. The greediness is only going to set me 10 steps. It's already hard to take a step in trading in general, because it's a lot of people that gatekeep info. It's a lot of people, so much noise. It's a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, here goes liquidity right here. Let's name it, I don't know, the blue sky. People are like, what? Blue sky liquidity? Isn't that the same shit? They just slapped a new name on it just to sell you a course. And that's why I kind of like when people like to reach out, I'm willing to help them for free, because it's like, the game, I could tell you everything. I could teach you how to ride a bike. I could teach you how to swim. You gonna have to get in that pool, or you gonna have to ride that bike in order for you to mess up, fall, and do that. All right, then, man. Shout out to my girl PG. Damn, hella stuff over there. But yeah, we hopped up in a call. She had hit me up on Instagram. Just wanted to hop on calls, and she was willing to pay. But I'm like, bro, it's no point of paying. All the game is free online, and I don't even feel like I'm there at a trader in order for me to charge. A lot of people would just money grab, tell them this basic stuff. But I want to be able to connect with somebody. I want to build a relationship with somebody in order for them to prosper and grow into trading, for me to even take that stuff. And when it's time for me to do so, I'll do it. And I feel like God will put it on my heart to do so. But right now, it's my time just to impact lives, have a domino effect. All right, the world needs to change. And if I need to start with one person in order to do that, I would do that. It don't matter how long it takes. It don't matter what I need to do, as long as I'm impacting out person life in some shape and form. But that was a W call. Like I tell everybody, if you guys want to hop in calls, anything, you're helping me and I'm helping you. We're helping each other both grow, and the same grow financially free. I'm helping you develop into what you need to do, and you helping me in order to stay calm, listen, be patient, teach, learn. You might even put me on with something in order for me to add in the bag, in order for me to help out the next person. You may impact my life while I'm impacting your lives, while we're impacting both our lives in order for us to grow. All right, but it's a rainy day, it's a gloomy day. I gotta get to work inside. But just to talk about the trade, we had W trade back to back winning days, both paper trades. Like I said, I'm just paper trading for the rest of the week, right? Really just for tomorrow. Because, bro, government's shutting down and acting a little weird. I don't want to blow the accounts, or actually, I don't even have no accounts, right? Money low. But I'm going to invest in more accounts next week. Gotta find something to do, right? Gotta sell my beanies, right? Probably might even recycle these bottles out here that I've been stacking up just on some rainy days in order for me to buy these accounts, all right? Just doing what I need to do in order just to stay in the game. All right, the name of the game is to stay in the game as long as possible. And I believe this month is probably one of my worst months, but I know that it's all part of the journey. You're gonna have ups, you're gonna have lows, right? So that's all I need to worry about, is just to follow my system, just showing up every single day, getting 1% better, doing what I need to do in order to stay grounded for the ultimate goal, which is financially free. All right. So today was bullish. So I was looking for some type of longs because yesterday had closed out bullish. So today I knew that, all right, I'm looking for some type of longs. If you scale down to a 4 hour, we have multiple 4 hour gaps, all right? You could have waited for this 4 hour gap to hit because at the time, I know right now, you guys see these two candlesticks right here, right? Because it's considered a new day right now, right? You could have had your fib tool from this low all the way right here, and it lines up with a 50% equilibrium where price is in a discount area for price to continue going up, right? Look at the 1 hour, price came back down, tapped it, and it went up. That's not the trade I did, all right? But this could have been a long idea that you possibly could wait it for. Right here, when price opened, we had this gap right here that price was sitting. So let's not talk about the shorts right now. We're going to talk about these longs that price had. So at time before market open, price had shot back down, manipulating to push back up, all right? And I had caught these retracements. I had called it out. These were the long ideas. I'm going to show you in the Discord call that I called it, all right? I like to have a 50-point stop loss, right? Boom. Hitting TP2 right here, all right? I'm always targeting a 1 to 2. And my ideal, my aiming point was to fill in this 1 hour gap, okay? 1 hour fair value gap. Boom. And if you guys look at it, we're also in a fair value gap that got disrespected. So this could have been a strong area, a strong key level to take some shorts, in which I did. This is what I was aiming for, right? So I was anticipating that price would go up and push here. I took those longs, and the short ideas that I took was off of this 1 hour gap. And you guys seen it, smack TP, it dumped all the way down to this 4 hour gap, and then it continued to go long, all right? So these were the confluence that I had within the first trade. So I'm gonna go first trade. It's the first trade. I had the 9:30 open plus a 1 hour gap. Oh, I cannot spell 1 hour gap. Plus I had the daily bias, all right? On the second trade, and in my, not even the second trade, let's wind it back. And I was anticipating, all right, for my TP to hit into the 1 hour gap that you guys seen. All right, so the 1 hour gap is right here. We tapped in, retraced, and pushed back up. And the 1 hour gap, I like to tell everybody, right, is if this was a candlestick, boom, and right here, boom, here, this is considered a gap on the higher time frame, like 30-minute and up, all right? Because we may not see this third candle being formed, which is the natural ICT fair value gap, right? Because you know how you guys like to see three candlesticks, price retrace, and then you get in. I anticipate that this third candle is going to go, right, retrace off this wick. That's where I want to enter off of. That we're respecting this area for it to push up, and then at this third candle manipulation or in a continuation, it will push up into my TP, right, and then just leaving a gap for later reference. All right, that's what I anticipate. That's why I consider a gap. It's ICT concepts, but just on a higher time frame. And you know, like he says, time is fractal. You're able to use all his concepts and everything. All right, you don't have to be on a lower time frame to catch the ICT concepts. All right, but the first trade, I did a 9:30 open with the 1 hour gap with the daily bias, and then my TP will go off of the 1 hour gap, all right? These shorts, I took it off of a second trade. I took it off of a 1 hour gap plus a IVG plus the 10 a.m. reversal, all right? So that's basically some strong confluence that I have, right? If I'm able to have 3 out of 4, I'm Gucci every single time, all right? So the first trade was this 9:30 open with the 1 hour gap plus the daily bias with the TP targeting this IFVG. And then the second trade was this 1 hour gap being filled, which is this bearish candle. And then we have the IFVG right here, which is this bullish candle. Coming in, price came in, reversed, and I had the 10 a.m. push down into this 4 hour gap. And then shoot, you could have messed around and got this 4 hour gap right here to take these longs, 50-point stop loss, right? Let's have a 50-point stop loss. You would have been Gucci, right? You would have been able to have your fib tool from these lows to here at the time, and then it would have tapped in the 50% range, and then you would have been able to catch another trade. That's 3 bangers, 3 setups that I have in order to take these trades. I'm doing this every single day. Same confluence, same system, same rules, same strategy. All right, and then let me show you guys what I did in the Discord, because boom, not in this Discord. Let's go into here. Let's move me over here, just like I said. Boom. Everybody's eating in the print team. So right here at 6:33, we got these long ideas. We had caught it. Boom. Going up to these previous day highs. You see that price continue to push up. And then I also had these short ideas. You guys can see right here, these 344. I had caught these. You guys seen these earlier in the video. Price here, TP1 pushing down to fill in this gap right here. So this is what I mean by these fair value gap fills that I trade, right? We have a candle here. 1, 2. Right here hasn't fully formed, but we're anticipating that this candle is going to reject, all right? So you could have took some more longs off of here. If this would have been a trade idea, it would have had more strong confluences, but it wasn't, because it was a 10 a.m., right, pushing down heavily, and I know that I was filling in a 1 hour gap, so this would have been an ideal trade, but this is how I look at it if I was trying to look for some type of longs, all right? You guys seen that TP has smacked. Y'all seen it earlier, and then price just continued to fall. That could have been like a 1 to 6. You guys see the team eating. My boy JD, $83, all right? Everybody's doing what they're doing, all right? If you're not part of the print team, you're missing out. Free Discord, free open discussion, free calls, free one-on-one, everything in order to help you guys become a better trader, all right? Let's get to it.